Welcome to Inside Carolina. I'm Michael Amiridis, and I'm thrilled to finally have met Hannah.
Welcome to the latest edition of Inside Carolina. I'm your host, Hannah Horn, a proud alumna of the university. We have an exciting episode for you here this February. We will take you inside the investiture ceremony of the 30th president of the university, Dr. Michael Amiridis. We'll also sit down with the president and ask him about his vision for the university. We will also take a look at a unique program here at the university called the Lullaby Project. And this is a program that's connecting incarcerated moms with their children through the power of the power of music. Join us as we go inside Carolina. So what is an investiture anyway? Well, it's a ceremony that marks a chapter in new leadership here for the university. It has music and tradition. Let's take a look back at the investiture ceremony that was held here in downtown Columbia on January 20 for President Amiridis. University students, faculty, and supporters attended the ceremony at the Coger Center for the Arts on the USC campus. The ceremony featured music, academic traditions, speakers, and remarks by the president. Speakers from throughout the country talked about what it means to lead an institution of higher learning. Among the honored guests was the Archbishop of the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of America. President Amiridis spoke about the challenges and opportunities ahead for the university.
But the 2 points that I'm trying to make from the very beginning is first, that academic leadership has to be one's calling, because otherwise it's a disaster. And second, that we are in a very challenging period for our institutions of higher learning.
To learn more about the future of the university, we sat down with President Amiridis to learn about his role leading this great university. Dr. Amiridis, thank you so much for the opportunity to chat with you today, and congratulations on just leading our university in such a thoughtful way.
Thank you, Hannah. It's a pleasure to meet you because I see you frequently in the videos that you do for the alumni and for the community. I'm like, when is he coming? When is he coming?
So a fan of Inside Carolina.
That's right here. You got it.
Thank you, thank you. You have held this office for about 5 or 6 months now, but just recently, and we just saw some video of your investiture ceremony. First of all, what an incredible ceremony, and what was going through your mind? What was that experience like for you?
The interesting part is that during the ceremony, the energy, the adrenaline, what we really started realizing was when I watched the ceremony for the first time on video. Because when I was on the stage, I didn't see much of it. I was going from one thing to the other. You cannot miss the current, the present, right? The honor bestowed on me, and the responsibility that comes with this honor. And then you have to think about the future. Right, okay, this is great, right? Look at this community that we are engaged with them, we have a new commitment to them. What do they expect? How are we going to do it? So all of these are complicated and they come together.
You are back at South Carolina. Many of us know that you held position here prior to being president, went away to Illinois, but you're back. What does it feel like you've called it home, like you're coming home? Is that true?
It is, and it feels great, by the way, to be back home.
It's warmer.
It is warmer for sure, today. Even today, it's warmer. But what is home, right? Home is a place, and home is people. And coming back to a familiar place, a place that we spent a good part of our lives, more time than anywhere else. And then the people. Right? Renewing the personal relationships, the professional relationships. That's what's home.
I personally am a first-generation college student. No one in my family had graduated from college before, and I'm so proud of my years here at South Carolina as an alumna. During your time here in office, we recently announced here on Inside Carolina about the overwhelming record number of South Carolina students, native students, as well as first-generation college students. And why is that important to you to have that as a metric, as something that is important to the university?
Hannah, I'm a first generation student also, college student, and so is my wife. I know the challenges and I know the importance of being the first in the family to get a college degree. I have seen this through my career. I have seen how a graduate of the university does not only, by these achievements, does not only affect his or her future, they also affect the future of their family, of their parents, of their siblings. So that's why it's important. It is, by the way, it is a unique tool that we have through higher education to break, in many cases, perpetual cycles of poverty.
Indeed.
And advance through knowledge.
One other really great accomplishment and headline that has been made in your tenure is the return to USC. And we're proudly wearing our pins today, our lapel pins. Give me some background on those discussions and the coming back to USC.
Well, first of all, I left from USC, right? And when I came back, I found, a slightly different name, but for me it was always USC. This is our name. This is our identity for decades. This is our pride and our joy. You hear it at the football stadium. You hear it in the Colonial Arena when the students, call themselves USC, right? Go Cox, that's right. And during the summer, when I met with different groups outside of the university, it was very interesting that several of them in alumni events, they would come to me after the event and said, okay, what are you going to do about the name? Right? I thought I was the only one. So it was relatively easy. Removing two letters is one of the easiest things to do. And the response that we have seen from our alumni, from our communities, is overwhelmingly positive.
Well, I'm wearing my USC pin proud.
So do I, by the way.
Thank you for your vision and your leadership, past, present, and future, and welcome home.
Thank you. Thank you.
There is always something exciting happening among Gamecock Nation. Here's a look at some highlights. In the latest U.S. News rankings, USC retained its #1 spot for its online Masters in Nursing program. This marks USC's 3rd year in a row at the top of the rankings. The University and Historic Columbia unveiled a new historic marker to acknowledge the history of USC during Reconstruction. During this time, from 1873 to 1877, USC was the only public university in the South to desegregate. USC music professor Mark Gergich, a classical guitarist, was nominated for a Grammy in the category of Best Classical Instrumental Solo. For anyone who's a parent, you know how important it is to connect with your children through talking and bonding and sharing with them. But for some parents, well, that just isn't possible. But that's where a new project comes into play with the School of Music. Musicians are working with incarcerated moms to help them connect with their children through the power of music and writing lullabies for them.
No amount of training could fully prepare us for how impactful this project is.
I get sad so much not being around him, so just knowing that he's gonna be able to hear something that I wrote word for word, it's amazing. It's amazing, because I just wish I was there, but this is something, This is something for him to hold on to me more. So this is amazing. It's an amazing feeling.
You can put as much metal and as many walls in the way as you want, and you cannot break that connection, and it will never be broken. And this just strengthens that connection.
The Lullaby Project, which is a project of Carnegie Hall and their Weill Music Institute. This program brings together musicians and community members who are experiencing pregnancy to write original lullabies for their children.
It's one thing to learn about, how to create a lullaby, what a song is, and how to put everything together, and one thing to really put it into motion and be there with the women and work with them. I think for us, it just means so much.
It kind of makes me feel accomplished to have this, feel important, you know, to be able to write a song and gonna be able to hear it.
While we are in the songwriting process and talking to the women and trying to put their experiences into music, it really means a lot just for that one moment when we can tell that their eyes get that sparkle and they feel that joy of just thinking about their children and what their love with their children really means to them. That's all we want. It's just for that moment for them to just feel nothing but love and connection and feel like they're as close to their children as possible.
We are artist citizens. We need to be in our communities. We need to be using our music for public good. And so that's something that is a really big mission at the University of South Carolina School of Music.
I think USC, South Carolina, is seeing the benefit of this. I can't thank them enough for what they're doing and stepping up and helping these folks. And I hope they realize they're not just helping the mothers, they're helping the children, and they're helping the family, and therefore they help their community, they help their state.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and fellow alumni. Man, we love it when you're here. Join us next month, Inside Carolina.